Now we are going to see the Docker. What is actually the Docker Compose is. So the problem, imagine you need to run the two containers, a web app and a database at the same time. So without Docker, you would type something like this. So this is very painful. So the solution is Docker Compose. So Docker Compose native define everything in a single file. Docker Compose.yaml. Then you can start it with all with the one single command, that is Docker Compose up, and that is it. One command, build your image, create the container, set up your network, and start the everything. So analogy, think of it like the without Docker Compose, you have to remember every ingredient and every step of a recipe from memory. Every time you cook, you might forget something. With Docker Compose, you have written a recipe card that lists all ingredients and all steps. Follow it and get the same result.
Now let us go to the project structure. Part 7, Flask Postgres. App.py. This is our Flask application. Requirement.txt Python. Okay. Templates मध्ये index docker file. याच्यात new file आहे docker compose.yml. This defines the both container plus network plus volume. Volume काय आपला की डेटाबेस साठी करून ठेवलेली एक जागा. व्हॉल्यूम खूप इम्पॉर्टंट आहे. आपण पार्ट 6 मध्ये पूर्ण व्हॉल्यूमच बघितला आहे की आतापर्यंत आपण डॉकर डिलीट केल्यानंतर पूर्ण जो डेटा होता तो जात होता, बट विथ द हेल्प ऑफ डॉकर वी कॅन सेव्ह ऑल दिस डेटा. सो व्हॉल्यूम इज ऑल्सो व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट. Network means within the two, suppose my app.py application.py and second one is my database, so both connect through a single through something, and that is nothing but our network. And both containers means Flask and database. Okay. .env म्हणजे environment variable. Docker ignore म्हणजे file to exclude from docker build. Readme म्हणजे आताची आपण बघतोय ते docker compose.yml अशी फाईल असेल. Line by line explanation बघू. The Docker Compose file format version uses 3.8. It is widely supported. Services कोणकोणते यूज करते? A service is a container you want to run. Each service gets its own container. Our app has two services: web, Flask, and a database, PostgreSQL. So line build dot काय करतं? Build a Docker image using the Docker file in the current folder. Okay. Build a Docker image using the Docker file in the current folder. Current folder मध्ये ते इमेज बनवतं using the Docker file. Okay. Ports 500 म्हणजे 500 on your machine and port 500 in the container. Environment म्हणजे set environment variable inside the container. Okay. DB host, we tell the Flask the database host name is DB, the other services name depends on म्हणजे start the database container before starting web. Restart always automatically restart if the container crash. Okay. Line Postgre 15 apply. Use the official PostgreSQL image. No need to build. It is pre-made. Okay. Environment Postgre reads this to create the user password and database on first start. Let's post PostgreSQL port optional for external ports like pgadmin. Volume. Attach a name volume so data services container a restart. Build versus image. Build an image from your Docker file. Okay, image Postgre 15 apply. Download a pre-built image from Docker for third-party software. Depend on only control start order. It starts database before web. It does not wait until Postgre is fully ready to accept connections. That is why our app.py has wait for DB function that retrieves the connection volumes at the bottom. Name volumes are declared at the bottom of the file. Docker manages where the data is actually stored on disk. This is like a USB drive that stays plugged in even if you throw away the container. Volumes name. Okay. Understand the code. App.py walkthrough. Why environment variable for database configuration? So DB host आपण हा हे सगळं os डॉट एन्व्हायरमेंट डॉट गेट हे आपण ठेवलेलं असेल डॉकर फाईलमध्ये की डॉकर कंपोजमध्ये. ओके. एन्व्हायरमेंट म्हणजे इकडे म्हणजे आपण या सगळ्या गोष्टी os डॉट एन्व्हायरमेंट डॉट गेट हे आपण सगळं ठेवलंय डॉकर कंपोज या फाईलमध्ये. डेटाबेस होस्ट, डेटाबेस नेम, डेटाबेस यूजर आणि डेटाबेस पासवर्ड. We read settings from environment variables because security, flexibility, Docker way. Password should never be written directly in the code. Change the database without changing the code. Docker way. Docker compose passes this variable to the container. The retry logic. Wait for db. Define wait for db. Maximum retries 30. Delay 2. For attempt in range 1. Max retries plus 1. Try connection. Okay. Connect connection close. Return true. Connect expect error time not sleep delay. Okay. Wait and try. म्हणजे याच्यात काय करतात आहे की सगळ्यात पहिले आपलं फ्लास्क कनेक्ट करण्याचा प्रयत्न करेल बट विदाउट PostgreSQL स्टार्ट वी कॅन कनेक्ट फ्लास्क. सो आपण 2-2 सेकंदाचा वेळ दिला आहे की मॅक्झिमम ट्राय टू 30 करू शकतो. म्हणजे जसं की फर्स्ट ट्रायमध्ये बघितलं की त्याने डेटाबेस कनेक्ट आहे का नाही आहे तर परत 2 सेकंड थांबला, परत ट्राय केलं, परत बघितलं नाही मग परत 2 सेकंड थांबला, परत ट्राय केलं, परत त्याने बघितलं की डेटाबेस कनेक्ट आहे, मग दोघं कनेक्ट होऊन जाते. वाय डू वी नीड आपल्याला काय गरज पडते याची तो वेन डॉकर कंपोज स्टार्ट बोथ कंटेनर. डॉकर कंपोज दोघं कंटेनर म्हणजे स्टार्ट करतो ते दोघं एकच टाइमला स्टार्ट होता बरोबर. सो PostgreSQL टेक्स अ फ्यू सेकंड टू इनिशियलाइज बरोबर. आपलं PostgreSQL आपण बघितलं पण असेल की जेव्हा आपण पीजी ॲडमिन जरी आपण ऑन करतो तेव्हा सुद्धा तो थोडासा वेळ घेत असतो. सो ॲज कम्पेअर टू दॅट फ्लास्क आपल्याला लगेच स्टार्ट होतो. सो फ्लास्क might try to connect before PostgreSQL is ready. तर सोल्युशन काय आहे? Try to connect in the loop. If it is fail, wait 2 seconds and try again. After 30 attempts means the 60 seconds, give up. How Flask talk to PostgreSQL? Flask uses PSY pop G2 library. This is a one type म्हणजे आपण बायनरी वापरतो वाटतं काहीतरी आणि म्हणजे एक आपण बघितलं स्लॅब डॉट पी वाय मध्ये पण जर आपल्याला PostgreSQL वापरायचं असेल तर आपण वरती सुद्धा ते लिहित असतो की आपल्याला import PostgreSQL sorry py config from PostgreSQL. So PostgreSQL running in DB container, hostname DB, port 5432, database bookstore and user my user. The key insight in the Docker Compose network, the service name is the host name. So when we write db host equal to db, Flask connects to the db container using db as the host name. Docker Compose handle the networking automatically. Okay. Docker Compose networking automatically handle करतो. Okay. Step by step, build and run. Go to the project folder मध्ये जा. Start everything with Docker Compose. Docker Compose start करा. Docker Compose up minus build. build. आपण असं डॉकर कंपोज मध्ये गेलो, आपण स्टार्ट केलं डॉकर कंपोज. व्हॉट दिस कमांड डज? डॉकर कंपोज ला बघेल ती डॉकर कंपोज मध्ये जाईल. डॉकर कंपोज मध्ये काय काय आहे ते बघेल की a file defines our entire application stack. Flask, web app, the web service, a PostgreSQL database. Instead of running two separate Docker run commands with lot of flags, we define everything here and start it all with one command, Docker Composer. Docker Compose automatically build the images, create the containers, create a network so containers can talk, starts everything in the right order. Version the compose file format version is widely supported and works with Docker engine. This tail Docker compose which feature are available in this file. Version 3.8 services. A service is a container definition. Each service becomes one running container. Our app has two web, our class application, and one database, that is our PostgreSQL database. The service name is important because Docker Compose uses it as the hostname on internal network. So our Flask app can reach the PostgreSQL at hostname. Services. Service 1. Flask web application. Web build on. Build means tell Docker Compose to build an image using the Docker file in the current directory. This is different from image, which pulls a pre-built image from Docker. Okay. Use build for your code, you need to build it. Use image for third-party software already built. Ports 505. Map port 5000 to your computer. Okay. Environment cover. I need this to know how to connect to PostgreSQL database. Okay. म्हणजे आपला DB हा लोकल होस्ट सारखं काम करेल पण डेटाबेस साठी. Postgres Postgres password. Okay. It depends on the start the DB service before starting web. It depends on only control start order. It does not wait until Postgres is fully ready. And if the container crash, Docker will restart it automatically. This is useful in production to keep the app running even after unexpected errors. DB म्हणजे offline then Postgres 15 environment by user pass ports जे डेटाबेससाठी वर्स कशात होतं WhatsApp स्नॅपसाठी होतं रिस्टार्ट ओके Postgres डेटा ओके. म्हणजे जेव्हा आपण बिल्ड करू तेव्हा कमांड टाकू तेव्हा ते काय काय करेल सगळ्यात पहिले आपलं डॉकर कंपोज डॉट वाय एम एल ची फाईल आहे ती बघेल. इस डॉकर कंपोज डॉट वाय एम एल काय मेसेज राहील का. लेट मी आस्क दिस क्वेश्चन टू GPT. fill the class image because we are doing now. Okay. Pull the PostgreSQL image from Docker Hub. Okay. Create a network. Create a volume. Okay. Start the DB container. Start the web container. Always log. Show logs for both container in your terminal. First, Docker to reveal the image. Watch the logs. You will see something like in your terminal. Okay. Notice line starting with db1 come from PostgreSQL container. Line web1 come from class container. Open that, open your browser and go to, you will see the book library page. Try adding some book. Okay. Control J. Now I am coming into the part 7. And Docker Compose. Docker Compose up minus B. Okay, it says that with image. Okay, because we don't have we don't say anything here. We have to set the password and all the things. Then only our class is connected. So the DB is connected. So I have put my name here. And friends, now आपण आपला पासवर्ड आम्ही ते टाकलेला आहे आणि त्यानंतर कमांड रन केली. पहिले आपण डेस्कटॉप डॉकर ऑन केला आणि कमांड रन केली. Localhost 500 ला जा. Docker book library, a book collection, book title, Docker basics. Durgesh, year 2020, and book. JSON API. Okay, nothing here. Check the JSON API आपण बघितला. Stop everything with control C. Then around Docker compose Docker. Okay, stop the both container, remove both containers, remove the network, does not remove the whole. Okay. Detach mode. Run in the background, your terminal stays free to use for other things. Means Container run in the background, your terminal stay free to use other things of this period. Start all services in the background. Run in background, return control to your terminal without -C. Your terminal stay attached. You see locks line. Press Ctrl C stops container. Without okay. Continuous run in the background. Terminal is free to use. Example docker -T. So terminal is busy and you get your command internally build images. Okay. How to stop them? Docker compose down. If started stop using down or stop stop. Stop lines to check if they are running. You want to check if all services. Start and force rebuild images. Okay. Stop all services. Stop and delete the volumes. Stop services without removing item. Stop. Start stop services. Start all services. Meaning start. Okay. Building. Docker compose build. Docker compose build. Location. Inside container Docker compose. Sh. Run a single command inside a container. Check how containers talk to each other. This is one of the most important concepts in Docker Compose. Docker Compose creates a network. When you run Docker Compose automatically create a bridge network for your services. All services in the same Docker Compose.yml file join this network. Service name equal to host name. On this network, each service can be reached by its service name. So the Flask app can reach PostgreSQL at hostname DB. If we had a third service called Redis, we could reach it at hostname Redis. Okay. Okay, from our computer we can understand through the file was written, we can connect to any database. Which admin gives our database. Yes, SQL. Data persistent. Data surveillance. Docker compose down. The compose. We have now coming back. Stop and remove the container. Okay. Docker compose down nicely. जो पण डेटा आहे तो पण जाईल आपल्याला. Start again Docker compose of manually. And if you have one website there, all data is gone. It is not okay. Notebook is there. Check the website or your books are gone. Okay, now practice questions. Try these exercises to make sure you understand Docker Compose. Run the app and add books. Start the application and add at least 5 books. Verify they show up in the table and in the JSON API. Okay, all this clear. First of all, I'm, I'm checking if there Docker Compose is running or not. Can I understand that Docker Compose no, just gives me info. Docker compose peers. Okay, I'm also make one notepad. Start the application and at least how to start. Okay, first of all we have to check Docker compose. Yes. Okay, it's all these are running. To stop them, we have a command Docker compose stop now. Docker compose stop. So now and check if anything present. Nothing is there. Yes. For Docker compose How to start the exercise 2 काय आपली ओके रन डॉकर कंपोज ऑफ हे झालं आपलं चेक युअर बुक्स आर स्टिल देअर ओके आपण ही कमांड यूज केली तर आपले सगळे डिलीट होते आणि रन डॉकर कंपोज परत हे केलं तर सगळ्या बुक गेलेल्या असतील ओके एक्सरसाइज 3 डॉकर कंपोज ऑफ डॉकर कंपोज डाउन only the last limited hours lost. Why do we see in each can spot where plastic wait for post break square? Yeah, here waiting there. In the second tab, it is in the first tab. First page is now ready. Connect to database directly once inside our next we access the PGID. Update the Docker compose Docker compose of minus d Docker compose of minus minus b Docker compose down minus b start restart status and logs yes keep moving Docker compose website Docker